Welcome back, fellow commanders. This is Titus Valspar. Sorry I'm getting back to you a little bit late this week, but as promised, and as you can see over here on my tarmacs, this week we're going to take a look at the Apaches. This is the most full roster of Apaches that you can actually take into battle, as I have the maximum of 8 tarmacs, and all of them are to the point where they can support two Apaches. So we can take 16 Apaches into battle, which is really, really good. I'm excited to see how these fare up. Now, I typically like to use my Apaches in the Operation Kill Switch event, just because I feel like I can get a little bit more out of it and it's not as expensive. But regardless, we'll take a look at them in a live action battle here. So my Apaches are at level 9. I believe we're about halfway to their full potential. So they're considerably strong. They deal 370 damage per second, and that's an interesting correlation that they have. So as you can see over here in the image, and as we'll see in the battle, is they deal damage by one of 2 different ways. They have a rotating turret here on the front, and on the sides they have 2, I guess for lack of a better term, cannons with which they launch some missiles. I feel like the missiles do deal a little bit more damage than the rotating turret gun on the front, but they do not fire at all times, just sporadically throughout the attack. They do have a relatively high level of health, almost 7,000 at this level, and not ridiculously expensive for the units that they are. 5,400 fuel to retrain each unit. They do take a little bit to train, almost 5 minutes per unit, and their population is 7. So once your tarmac can house 14 troops, you can have 2 Apaches, and that's the max that you'll get out of the tarmacs, even as you continue to upgrade them to support more of other troops. So you're looking at almost 10 minutes of training to get the Apaches ready to go. But regardless, they're a strong troop, and they target pretty much anything. They'll attack anything that's on the board, offensive, defensive, structure-wise. Though they will prioritize units and defensive structures over anything else unless directed to do otherwise. As we can see, and as is expected, they are very weak against the Patriot missile and also the domed aerial defense. Those are best explained as the disco balls that can pop up out of the dome defenses. Other than that, they provide some pretty hard-hitting attack strength to everything else. So, for sake of conserving my units, or in an attempt to, we will power them up with my strike force. I'm going to change this one over so we all have all my tarmacs on the A command key. And then we're actually going to do the battle strategy a little bit different this week. We're going to actually do a planned mission rather than a live action battle against an opponent. It'll still be live action. It just won't be against our regular opponent. So now that we've got all our strike force in, we'll jump over onto the globe and jump into one of these battles, one of these other missions. So you can differentiate between live action battles by these icons. So the icons that pop up here and have like the person, those are missions against people who actually play this game. Any of the other ones that have this flag are missions that are set up by the game. So we're going to go ahead and take on, let's try this one down here. It's called Sneak Attack. Not entirely sure what we're to expect, but something unique about this mission is it does double the amount of supplies in the event of a successful attack. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So it looks like we do have an interesting little setup. What I'm most concerned about, let's see, so up here at this side of the map, there are 2 Patriot missiles at level 15. So those will definitely cause some problems. As you can see, they can fire 6 different missiles at a time, deal a very high level of damage. So we'll see if we can't take some of those out with our primary attack. I think I'll use my A10 to try and collect the extra command points here, and then we'll use the orbital strike on these 2. The only other concern that I do have, mainly because I don't know what they are, would be the dome defenses. If these are sentry guns, they will kind of interfere with the plan. If they're aerial defenses, then that's going to cause some real problems. If they're fuel lasers, then we shouldn't have much to worry about at all. We don't have to worry about the artilleries. We don't have to worry about the railguns, the metal rain, or possibly even the guard towers unless they have the rocket upgrade. So we'll go directly towards what I'm most concerned about here in the back corner and just kind of see how the battle plays out from there. Another thing that we will note is that there are some defending Apaches, probably not some ridiculously high level, so not too concerned there. And the HQ is at a level 18, so it needs to take some substantial damage before we can actually take it down. So without prolonging this anymore, let's go ahead and take her on. So as aforementioned, and we do have some cycling going by these Apaches. I'm just kind of also hoping that there aren't any stealth tanks that we'll have to deal with, because that would only further complicate things. So we did get quite a substantial amount of command points here. So we'll go ahead and start softening up some of these other defenses. See if we can't get... Okay, so we did get that Patriot missile, which will prove to be very beneficial. Use a Hellfire to soften these other ones up. And as soon as we get that Patriot missile, we'll see if we can't take out that dome defense, which we did. Oh, that's not what I wanted. An additional 30 command points for that orbital strike. So we are a little bit more depleted on our command points. But we'll drop in all the Apaches. And it looks like we do have aerial defenses down here. So that will definitely cause some problems. And it looks like we're having some issues with some stealth tanks down here as well. Oh, shoot. This is not going well. Alright, so that is another issue that we do see with using the Apaches. And I'm about to lose some over here. Nope, we were able to salvage them. So we're starting to kind of have some issues. Lost an Apache down there. We're going to try and regroup over here. Maybe get some of our command points back. So many stealth tanks. That's not friendly whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and take on the main issue down here and use my boost and take out that last aerial defense. So it's a very engaging part of a battle to take care of all this. However, we've only lost one Apache so far, and it looks like from this point on it should be smooth sailing. Unless we do happen to have some some stealth tanks pop up, but it looks like we've taken care of them all at this point. So we'll just kind of use the rest of our command points to speed up the process. And now we've just got the HQ to take care of, so we are in pretty good shape. And there we are. So now you kind of have an idea of some of the dangers that can occur in using the Apaches. Overall, not bad whatsoever. More than enough fuel to retrain were I to stick with my Apache front. We've got a bunch of supplies there, pretty good amount of steel, a little bit of tech. Overall, I don't have any real complaints about this. So that's your basic view at the Apaches and how they serve in battle. And now we've got this commander talking to us. He'll be interesting to take on as we round out everything else that's under his control. Might start taking a look at some of those boss battles. However, I think the majority of those I will take on in one of my other accounts. That way we can kind of have an analysis of each boss as we take a look at them. So that's what you should expect from the Apaches. Very efficient. Again, I will note, if you're going to go with air attacks, go with all air attacks. It may prove to be beneficial to have a mixture of both attack drones and Apaches. That's completely and entirely up to you. I've already expressed my feelings about the attack drones, so now you know how I feel about the Apaches. If I had to pick between one or the other, I would definitely suggest the Apaches. However, this only comes at HQ number 12, so it's up to you to decide if they're worth your time and energy, if you want to stick with some of the other units that we've taken a look at. The next vehicle that's on the list is the command and control vehicle, which we've already taken a little bit of a look at. And the one after that, which is probably the video we'll do next week, is the medvac. And I will be completely honest, I haven't really experimented with that just yet. So that'll be an interesting activity for me in the coming week. And we'll get back and take a look at it in the coming weeks. Other than that, I will let you get back to your daily activities and your global warfare. This is Titus Valspar. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.